friends. Welcome to another episode of the Long Distance Friends podcast. My name is Liv. So last week, this man was naked, right? This week, I've got old pastrami boy with me, and he is in his Christmas jammies. Last year, we did a Christmas card, and both of the boys had matching PJs, and we did a little photo shoot at home. You know, I had a white backdrop, had like a little stool, so he was on the stool looking over at the camera. Toulouse was on the floor, and they pose so beautifully. They really do. But this year is so special. I had to try it out, okay? And then I wanted you guys to see. I really did. Look at how handsome we are, right? So we've got a harness on, and we've got our clothes, and we'll have a leash too, because they are going to meet Santa Claus tomorrow. Are you excited to meet Santa Claus? No comment. Well, it'll be so fun. He's such a good sport. He's so good. I'm going to take your clothes off now because I'm going to leave the harness on. But, you know, I get it. This outfit is a little warm. And it's kind of nice because they get a little immobile with it. So taking them in public is a breeze. You want to still say up here? Okay. All right. Well, thank you for joining. Thank you, Target, for our cat jammies. These are bears sleeping and elves playing and doing fun things. We have a lot to unpack this week. So I have a lot that I'd like to unpack this week. Thank you for dealing with me. I know that I look a little rough right now. I do know I have a special friend who will call that out. So thank you so much. I do look a little tired because I am tired. I feel like I cannot get enough sleep. And I don't know if anyone else is feeling that. Maybe it's just like this time of year, but when it's cold outside, I could sleep so long. I could sleep for days and still need a little bit more. And it is just kicking the shit out of me if I'm going to be so fucking for real. So there's that. Let me pull up my list. So a couple things from this past week. Let's catch up. First one is I am currently crying over Modern Family TikTok edits. If you are a content creator on ye old TikTok on Marquise's internet, stop, quite frankly, okay? Because I'm out here at like 2 a.m. doom scrolling on the TikTok, crying because of Jay and Manny having these like really sweet moments of like they're kind of grumpy on the outside, but then they're like so sweet and they just love each other so much. And like it hits me in the soft spots. Okay. And then it's 2 a.m. and I'm crying in my bedroom by myself. Please be nice to my hair. It's been a week. I will be washing it eventually. Might do an oil treatment. I feel like I never have enough sheets. Like I have 2 pairs of sheets for one of my beds and I have like 16 pairs of sheets for the other bed. So I washed 8 pairs of sheets and I was like, okay, I'm going to make the bed. I'm going to change the sheets, and I have a flat sheet but not a fitted sheet for the big bed, and it's frustrating, but it's fine. And now I need to fix that. I need to take care of laundry, which is exhausting. I took 2 days off of work this week originally I wanted to like do something fun. Originally I coordinated these days off with someone else and then spent them alone. I went to the gym. I spent one of the days fully in bed, not in bed, on the couch. But I spent it in my bathrobe. I did not get out of my bathrobe for a full 27 hours. It was lovely. I need to admit something to you guys. So I am getting some work done on my house, and I've had a couple people come out to check out some things that need fixing. And I had a moment that like I'm not fully proud of. I wouldn't say that I'm not proud, but I'm going to say that I could have done better. I let a strange man into my home. I didn't ask him his name. I didn't question why he was at my front door. I was so exhausted and I knew that I was expecting somebody. So when somebody came to the door, I just opened it and said, "Come on in." And it was 8 a.m. I didn't have a cup of coffee. I had my bathrobe on. And I was like, "Come on in. I can show you to the attic and whatever." And he said, "I'm here for the gutters." And I said, "Oh." Like in my brain, I was like, did I look like, I need you to imagine Abby Lee Miller going, JoJo, have you learned nothing of like my childhood? Like you're told, like, don't open the door for strangers. Don't let strange men into the house. And I just like welcomed him in like I was trying to get molested. It was shocking for me. And I was like, I think I need a sedative and a cup of coffee at the same time because that was just absolutely wild. So that happened. I got my gutters cleaned. I am trying to be less scared of payment programs and am going to be extending payments over the course of the next 12 months for them because that poor man was on my roof cleaning my gutters for 4.5 hours. Because not only did he have to clean them, but apparently they weren't sealed properly when they built my house. And when he said, hey, when it rains, does water come out of these? And I said, yes. And he said, where? And I said, well, usually like here, here, and here. And he said, right. They should not be. It should only be coming down from the downspouts. And I said, that is hilarious. I did not know that. So I want to point something out. Home ownership is lovely, but it's also a little bit of a scam. Like I didn't fully know what I was getting into. I feel, again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I feel like they should have forced me to take a course to be like, do you understand that you will be responsible for laundry list of items? And I love it. I love it. But also I was not prepared for it. So there's that. What am I going to do this weekend? So I'm going to take the boys to see Santa Claus. I did a Christmas card last year. Sorry, I'm coming full circle. I did a Christmas card last year. I want to do a Christmas card this year. It's a humble Christmas. It is a humble Christmas because I also need to get my attic insulated because I have about 2 inches of insulation up there and I should have about 2 feet of insulation in order to keep my house warm this winter. So that's fun. If there's one thing that I am going to do, and I will point this out, I did let a strange man into my home, but if there's one thing that I'm going to do when there is a man stranger in the house, it is lie about my husband. Okay. Actually, this week, me and my sweet, sweet hubby boy, we've been together for like 6 years. But it feels like yesterday, it really does. It feels like yesterday. And he's so lovely. I wish you could meet him. Unfortunately, he's deployed right now. Go Air Force. And I love him so dearly. He's from Pittsburgh. He's got a heavy accent and I love it. We are big Eagles fans. Go Birds. And we met, actually, funny enough, we met in an airport. I was flying for a work trip and we were on the same flight and he was like, this girl is so pretty. And we were kind of chit-chatting before the flight. And then he got them to switch his seat to be next to me so that we could talk longer. And it was like straight out of a movie. And then we ended up going to the same destination and got dinner that week and found out neither of us were from there. We were both just visiting and kept in contact, and then had a long distance relationship for a couple months, decided to, explore things on our own, and he ended up being relocated closer to me, and it became so much easier, and it was lovely. It was great. It was so fun, and he's a wonderful man. And I have all the details. A couple months ago, he was a truck driver. He's hauling freight. It's a busy job, but you know what? He works hard so that I can work hard here. And I love that. And I appreciate him so much. Like he is a provider in the fullest. So it really, and I keep track of it. I keep track of which contractors get which story. And there's no photos of anything besides like me and my mother and me and my grandmother in my house. So easy. And yeah. I think it's funny. I think it's fun. I think it's fun to lie to strangers. Yes or no? Is it socially appropriate to lie to strangers? I think it is. But who am I? Who am I in the grand scheme of things? Let's touch on the seasonal depression. So it be hitting. I realized that I have not taken my vitamin D in a couple of weeks, which definitely is a contributing factor. So I need to get back on the vitamin D supplements. If you are not already taking your vitamin D supplements and you live somewhere where it gets dark at like 5 p.m., start taking that vitamin D. My lovely LDF trophy wife tagged me in a video this week because she was like, I know you've been kind of down and I think this will make you laugh. And it did. And it made me haha giggle so hard. And then I was like, I do need to do these things to take care of myself. Taking care of myself has felt a little tough. Like it's easy, but it's tough. You know, like it's easy because I love myself and I want to take care of myself, but it's tough because I feel like hot garbage, truly. This happens. I don't take time off as much as I should. So when I do take time off, my body goes, oh, you're resting. And then it gets violently sick. And it's like, since you have the time off, why don't you just go ahead, pop a fever, get like a sinus infection, and feel like hot garbage for a few days? So the moral of that story is please take your time off. But in combating the seasonal sad, I have been watching a lot of Christmas movies. The Hallmark ones, I'm struggling, honestly, guys. I know people love them. They're terrible. They're so bad. I love and hate them at the same time. And I feel like I've seen all the good ones already. Like that's on me. I should have started with the shitty ones. And I need to ask my sister for her Hulu login so that I can watch the other ones that I haven't seen. But I've been watching a lot of Christmas movies because it brings me a little bit of joy. I have not been getting outside as much as I should because it's cold as shit. Okay. I'm from Florida. I am from South Florida, which means for me, a perfect day is like 65 degrees with a little sun and a nice breeze. And like I can just lay out and relax. It's 29 degrees here. I love it. I love it so much. It's fucking cold. I don't want to do a lot of things. It's hard for me to get out of bed because it's cold as dick. And also, I need to insulate my attic so that it stays warm in my house because my electric bill is not that bad, but I am also keeping my house at like 60 degrees instead of keeping it at a warmer temperature. Saw a guy talking about how they're now saying that the best temperature to leave your house at in the winter is 74 degrees. And I said, I don't have 74-degree money. Okay. I do, but I'm not putting it there. Okay. So crying over Modern Family edits, touched on that. Want to unpack a late night laying in bed thought that I journaled. And that is that I don't ask for help even when I need it. I don't ask for it. What would it take for me to find someone who I can feel comfort in when I need help? Like what would it take for me to find someone who I look at and when I am really struggling and I need assistance that I know has picked up on the fact that I'm off my game and would help? And I think about it I was talking to someone and slowly started sharing more details about my personal life with them. And they were like, they asked me like, how do you manage that? Like who is there for you? Who is helping you with these things? Because you talk about it like it's no big deal. And I was like, well, it's not. Like when you've had as much things happen in your life as I have, like they stop seeming like big deals. They just seem like things that happen. And he was like, I get that, but like you still need people to be there for you during those things that are actually difficult. Like, are you taking care of yourself in that ways? Like, who can you rely on? And I was like, me. I can rely on myself. That's who's there. And, it spiked the thought because I'm like, I'd like someone to be there. I want to feel like I am safe to tell someone I'm struggling and I need you to take the reins and I need you to take care of things because I can't right now. And I haven't found that yet. I thought I was getting close and then it didn't. And it's tough, especially because I think the one time that I did try to confide in someone and say like, I want to share this burden so I'm not holding it alone and that I can have comfort and that I can be supported. And they were like, yeah, that's great. And then we're like, I don't care. And I was like, great. Thanks. Love that. So that's a thought that I have. And I have these journal prompts that I was given, and I figured what better way, because I my hands hurt when I write. My delicate little fingies start to hurt when I write. So I thought, why not just do it in the platform that works best for me? And this is it, my friends. And I hope that as we go through these, that you can also reflect on them in the sense of your own life. So I am going to pick one from a couple different sections and unpack it. I apologize because I do have a little bit of a runny nose. So I know I'm like full Rudolph up in here. What's something you could do today that puts you a little out of your comfort zone? I'm gonna give you a second to think on that. What's something that I could do today that would put me outside of my comfort zone? I can tell you one thing that I did today that put me out of my comfort zone, but is slowly growing more comfortable. I went to the gym and there was about 5 people in there. And it's a small gym. It is a very small gym, which is perfect for me. And there was about 5 people in there. And we all were working out like together. And I was feeling uncomfy to begin with. I was like, this is not my vibe. My vibe is to be here alone. That's why I work out on the weekends, because no one's here. But I did it anyways. I went through, I did my workout, and it was so hard today. It was harder than I think it's been in a while, but I did it. And I was proud of myself for that. Something else that I could do today is okay, so I know what it is, and I'm going to say it, but I want to unpack it. I went to the bookstore and I bought 3 books for myself. I bought 3 books. That one is the last book in a series that I listened to the audio version of the books when I was driving back up from Florida one day and when I was painting one of the rooms in my house. And they didn't have the last book of the series at my library. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll fucking buy the book. So I bought that book. I bought a book that I have been on a wait list for, the audiobook in my library. And then I was like, you know what? I'll just buy it. Fuck it. Like, I think it'll be good for me to have. And then I bought another book that seemed interesting. We'll see. But I bought the books because I want to feel more comfortable going into public spaces and having something to do besides scroll on my phone, because it's become this like emotional support object. And I want to still enjoy my time. And I saw this guy on TikTok who was talking about it, of like, go to a bar, sit at the bar, read a book, keep your book with you, go out to eat and like just read a book, but go into these public spaces by yourself and bring a book if you feel uncomfortable being alone. And I was like, that's a good point, because I don't go into public spaces by myself. And if I do, I am like, I'm coming with things to make me look busy. Like, I will edit an episode. I will do all of these things so that, I'm not just sitting here staring at people, but then it also makes me really unapproachable as a person to be sitting here with a laptop open, like hyper focused on something. And, I do want to like enjoy my life more. I think my life is so special and I think it's worth documenting. And I think I do really fun things. I'm sorry. I just watched a cat try to run wearing a harness that he's not used to. It's fucking funny. But so I got books. And guess what? If you see me in public and you see me reading my silly little smutty books, don't comment on the plot. Don't comment on the material. Okay. Because at least I'm reading. I had that conversation with someone in my place of work where they were like, I read a lot. And I said, oh, me too. Like, what type of books? They were like, I was like, for sure. And then they said one book and I was like, I've read that one. Okay. I know what kind of books you read now. I get it. Me too. So I thought that was funny. Shout out to them. But yeah, so I want to get out more and I want to enjoy third places. That's another thing that I saw a video on, of like, the United States is terrible with having third spaces. Like, your first space is your home, your second space is your workplace. And like, where are third places? The coffee shop, a cafe, like where do we go to hang out? And you look at European culture where it's like, okay, I'm going to pay €1 for a cup of coffee, and I'm going to pay €1 for like a little snack to go with it. And I'm going to go to the coffee shop. I'm going to go to the cafe. I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to hang out with them. I'm going to be included in the community, and I'm having a place to go, and I'm partaking in the activity of being here, but also having the community culture. And we don't have that in the United States. If I want to go to a coffee shop, I need to get in my car. I need to drive between 10 and 30 minutes to get to whichever coffee shop I want to go to. And then it's $5 for a cup of coffee, and it's $5 for a croissant, and no one in there is talking to each other. And it's tough, and it's very isolating. And I hate that we are living in this environment that is so isolated, especially because, like, yes, it was still difficult to like find these third places in college, but like in college, I did have them. It was like I could go to the sorority house and sit there and communicate with people, sit in the coffee shop at the, sorority house, sit in the different rooms. I could go to a local coffee shop in the area that took, the like dining dollars through the school, and I would go with a girlfriend, and we would sit in silence, but we would do our homework because we were there together. There were other people around. Like, it's important to get outside of work and home because it gets repetitive, it gets stagnant, it gets really heavy. And so, I want to find more of these places. I want to explore the place that I'm living more, but I want to do so in a way that still feels comfortable. I want to go enjoy the arts and the culture of this city. I want to enjoy the museums. I want to enjoy the shows and performances. But hey, how confident and comfortable do I feel going to these things alone? Because with it also comes a little bit of grief of like, okay, well, here are things that like maybe I planned to enjoy with other people that didn't work out. How do I find people that I do these things with now? Do I feel sad about the fact that I'm struggling to find people who want to partake in the same cultural environments that I am interested in? I do. So that's just that. Love journaling, how it pops off like that. So I downloaded Bumble for Friends, and I am a little nervous about it. When I first moved away from college, I immediately got on Bumble for Friends, and I met several people, all of whom one of them I kind of liked, and I was like, okay, like I think I could be friends with this person, and we hung out like twice. And then I kind of got ghosted, and I was like, what did I do wrong? And it hurt my feelings. And it was really tough because it was like she had talked to me about the fact that she was like finding more people that were college aged. And I was like, hey, like I'm struggling with this because I'm working a job that has really brutal hours. So I'm only available like one day a week that you're available. And I don't feel like I have things in common with these people who are still in school. And it like I want to find people that are in a similar experience in life as I am. And it's tough to do that when I am their age, but I am 2 years ahead. And so starting there again, thankfully I'm a little older now. So people my age I've been in the workforce longer than most of the people that are my age. But it's a new city. I'm excited. I think I feel more anxiety with Bumble for Friends than I do dating. Because I want, close friendships. I reposted something on TikTok that was like, I learned love from my girlfriends. Those are the most intimate relationships that I think women have is with our girlfriends. Those are the people who, when I look at the way that I show people affection and care and compassion and all of these things, like I think about my girlfriends who showed me that. And then I was like, I love the way I feel when, I'm feeling sick and Delaney comes over with medicine and some electrolytes and a soft blanket. And so now, when I care about people and they're under the weather, I put together a little care gift for them to be like, hey, like right now you want to be alone, you feel this way, that's okay. Like I want you to know that like someone cares about you when you're ready to like have people back in. I'm here. You know, I think about those pivotal friendships and relationships that have taught me how to care about others. Because it was all through my girlfriends. Now, yes, those romantic relationships taught me a little bit, but like I learned the most and I felt the most with my girlfriends. You know, those were the ones that got so, so deep in that, like my hardest moments. I've had my girls, you know, my absolute rock bottoms. I've always had a boyfriend when I went through my rock bottom, and they were not the person who was there for me and supported me, but my girlfriends were. You know, I would love to find a romantic relationship that does also, but end of the day, they are the ones that have consistently been there when I needed them. You know, I know that if I were to reach out to certain friends and say, like, I am struggling, I need you now, they would be here, and vice versa. And I think it's okay to have, like, looking for friends, you know, as an adult in a new area. I have to accept the fact that not all of them are going to be that deep. That's okay. Not every friend is supposed to be so into your core best friend. And guess what? They could be for a short period of time and then not be again. It could go in phases. Like, just because someone is really close with you right now doesn't mean they always will be. And just because they are a surface level friend right now does not mean that they always will be. It is a cycle. You know, I see the cycles happen with a lot of my different friends, and I think I used to feel a lot of frustration of like, why is it different now? Why doesn't it feel the same way that it did yesterday? What is going on? And realizing that like, hey, it's okay. Like it's all right if right now we're just casual friends and 6 months from now we get close again. That's all right. That's absolutely okay, because that doesn't mean that they hate me. It just means that like right now, what's going on in my life and what's going on in their life isn't clicking, and somebody else it is. So there's that. I feel like I've done nothing but sprout. My brain feels like spaghetti. I need to go wash my sheets so that I have clean sheets for the bed that I want to sleep in tonight. I could put clean sheets on the bed that I don't want to sleep on, but I don't want to sleep on it. So thank you for joining me. I know this was just chaotic. I will probably record again tomorrow for the following week because it's going to be chaotic leading up to Christmas. I'm so excited. And we're going to see Santa Claus. So I'm so excited to give you guys the story of the boys seeing Santa. All right, friends. Love you so much. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Long D Friends Pod. Email me at longdfriendspod@gmail.com. You can also find me on TikTok at Lived, Laughed, Loathed. I just post silly little things. I've decided my days off, I want to do like day in the lives because I do things that are exciting. And even if I don't do things that are exciting, my life is still worthy of being documented and shared. All right. I love you so much. Talk to you later. Bye.